Portion that you believe that, or the portion of the act that you believe protects the statement from being turned over.
Your Honor, I don't have a section in front of me. I'm happy to provide it, but there is expressly a section regarding the crime victim, the impact statement under the Crime Victims' Rights Act.
Okay, well, we gotta call in a jury in 6 minutes.
And the city, should the court determine it's appropriate to turn this over, we will turn it over. We are prepared to proceed to a trial.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that they would be prepared if they have not
I understand.
received all the discovery that they requested. Unless you're providing me with some other information to consider, at this point, I'm going to order that you turn it over.
Okay.
Okay, I'll determine, I'm gonna leave, I'm not gonna make a ruling now as to whether or not I'm going to cross-examine on a victim impact statement. If this was an issue that had been brought to the court prior to this, this would be an issue I would have had you brief, to be honest, because of the nuances of the concerns. But I do believe that if you're in possession of a statement at this point, and he's requesting victim statements and witness statements, you have to turn it over.
Okay, the city will provide it, Your Honor.
Okay, so we are calling a jury on this, or did you want an opportunity to review it?
Your Honor, at this point, I'm going to have to move for an adjournment of the trial. This is, of course, as the court is aware, discovery not having been completed up to this point, and I have not even had an opportunity to review this document.
I would agree. And this is an issue, like you stated before, where we had an issue last week, but you still waiting on some discovery from a case that's been pending since November. It looks like December we were here for the first pre-trial. I'm going to ensure adjournment to allow them an opportunity to turn over the document, or in the alternative, if they do find something that caused them to be able to file a motion not to turn it over, then I'll review that motion. But I will adjourn it for that purpose. We can do 20.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Was it March 20? Is March 28th work?
It does not work.
I was gonna say, I think he's gonna be. I'm taking 21st off, actually. Surprise.
Okay.
So we get to the 20, oh, he said the 28th. April 4th. April 4th one.
I would prefer to not do it April 4th.
You just come in the day you're coming
Yeah.
back. Do it the week after. April 11th. April 11th. Well, his day off is not so much a surprise. We just don't remember. April 11th at 8 a.m. 8:15. 8:15, sorry.
That day does work.
Okay, sounds good. We'll get you a copy of the notice for your clients. Let me put a note in here about the victim impact statement. Okay, any additional matters on this record?
Nothing on this matter, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, you're all set. Ms. Donnelly, if you step up, because I do want to address Ms. Brooks' matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Amanda.
I'm not gonna go on the record on this at this point. I have a
Hey, tell me what's going on, please. The fan.
Good morning, is this Von Cager?
Yes.
Morning. Mr.
Good
Cager,
morning.
your attorney, Miss Donnelly, is here. Would you like to speak to her at all, or?
If she has something to talk to me about, yes, that'd be fine. If not, we can just carry on.
Let me change this.
No, Mr. Cager, I'm still waiting on offers from the city attorney, unfortunately. So, but it's slow moving this morning. But there, we'll see what happens. It says, according to court, you haven't done your fingerprints on this yet.
I was told, see, when I did do this, I went downtown and got fingerprinted and everything. Remember, because the case got started over and the judge told me I didn't have to do it, from my understanding, because I already told her.
Yeah. When it was started up again, you said you did it?
Yeah, the day that I first caught this case, it was like back in July. And my fingerprinting and all that.
They probably just need you to do it every time there's a file. They have to do it. So if you don't have the order still, you got to come down to this courthouse and get a new printed order, and then go to Lansing Police Department. But yeah, the judge is gonna need yours again.
What's the traffic?
The traffic counter will just get you another printed order.
I'm sorry, say what?
You come to the 6th floor of City Hall, the traffic counter, they'll print you out another order that you can take to Lansing Police Department.
All right.
Mr. Cager, you're gonna want to get that done as soon as possible, okay?
Yes, I mean, it's kind of frustrating, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Like, with the time, because now I'm in a situation like, man, my transportation with this. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Cager, I put you on mute, sir. This is currently live on YouTube, so we certainly don't want you to say anything that perhaps you shouldn't.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Coons, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Were you able to talk to your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking to Miss Donnelly.
Just with Ms. Brooks, I was gonna wait until I heard from the prosecutor.
Okay, Miss Brooks. If you want to
Yes.
just hang tight, your attorney is waiting to have further discussion with the prosecutor about a way to resolve your matter. So if you want to wait, hang tight, and then she may log in to talk to you again, okay?
Okay.
You can turn your camera off for now. Okay. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Noah Everett Steer, the file number 21-02497, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dustin Coons for Noah Steer, both of us appearing by Zoom.
Thank you. Today's the date that's up for sentencing. I have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. Did you receive a copy of that, Mr. Coons?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Any additions, corrections, or changes that need to be made?
No strictly factual modifications. Would like to add some context about some of the factual assertions in here, but I don't know that it requires an actual modification to the report.
You can proceed.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. I've gotten the privilege to know Noah since, well, shortly after this incident. I'm trying to remember back when it was last summer, I think. This was one of those cases where there was a blood draw and we had to wait quite some time before there was an actual case, but Noah was on the phone with me, I think the day after this incident. And in that time, I've gotten to know someone I really like, I respect, and I'll never tell any of my clients that I don't like or respect them, but I can't say it's true of all of my clients. But he's one that I do. One thing I'm particularly impressed with is, I guess, how he goes about his business, how he handles his life. The fact that he wasn't waiting around for there to be a case, I thought said a lot of him. He wasn't technically arrested. He knew there was a possibility of there being an OWI case, but he still wanted to make sure he was taking care of business. And so, beyond that, he's a man of duty. He served our country, did 2 tours in Afghanistan for us, and I'll respect anyone who does that. He's I think just genuinely a really good guy. But he made a poor choice back on this night. He drank too much, quite a bit too much, and he drove. And one thing I think is pretty telling is he's not really even quite sure how he got to the BAC he got to. I can't remember if it was in the PSIR or the independent substance abuse assessment we had done a few months ago. But he was kind of trying to remember how many drinks he had, and it didn't really add up to where his BAC would be. I know at the time he was operating on not much food, but all this to say, I think he's a person who needs some education, so that he knows how to handle situations like these where there's alcohol involved. He's not a big drinker, yet he finds himself in the justice system because of an OWI offense. And so for people like him, I think education is necessary. And this is where I guess where what I think about Noah and this incident, and I guess where probation kind of differ. Like I said, we had a separate substance abuse assessment done, and our professional substance abuse counselor who did that said there was not really much of a concern of substance use disorder. The probation agent has concerns in part because of how high the BAC was in this case, which I do understand that, and in part because Noah admitted to drinking on bond, and this is one of those areas where I just like to give the court a little context. We're not denying that. That is information that Noah volunteered. He didn't have to. It wasn't something where he got caught with a positive ETG or anything. He was just trying to be honest that the drinking event in question, I was talking to him about it. It was the day before his birthday. He had one beer. That's not to say it's okay or acceptable, but to speak to the, I guess, the bigger picture of somebody who, is that somebody who has a serious substance or alcohol use disorder, and I don't think it indicates that. I would understand if the court's upset about Noah violating one of its orders. But again, that was information that he volunteered without really being compelled to. And I actually think that speaks quite a bit to his character. I also want to address the cannabis concerns that probation has. Noah began as a medical marijuana patient to treat a couple disorders, including PTSD that he sustained while serving our country. And I know, and eventually he let his card lapse because it became legal recreationally. That said, he is trying to, I think he's been in the process for a while now of trying to get his medical rights back. And I guess I don't know where this court stands on this particular issue, but I would almost invariably rather see someone using cannabis to treat illnesses than some of the other prescription medications, whether they're opiates or benzos, because I've seen it too often in my work that's what starts someone down the pathway to more serious addiction issues, namely heroin with opiates. So I guess I understand probation's concerns and diagnosis of mild cannabis use disorder, but I just ask the court to look at the bigger picture here and understand why he's treating himself that way. All that being said, at the end of the day, I think probation's recommendations are fairly appropriate here. I think the focus again should be on education rather than intensive treatment. And if through the course of education, it's determined either by Noah or by the court or by whoever is conducting the classes that something more needs to happen, then this court can amend its orders of probation. I do think the period of 6 months is appropriate, especially given, how high the BAC was here. And I think through some education, through a little bit of court oversight, this court doesn't need to worry about seeing no again. So, yeah, just ask the court to give him a chance. Thank you.
Thank you. And is your client seeking to make his own statement today?
No, anything you want to tell the court?
I don't know as far as a statement, but I understand that what I did was a mistake that I haven't made before. And like Mr. Kuntz was saying, I'm ready to, deal with whatever I need to deal with to make this right and to move about my life and, just learn from this and kind of move on. And I think that's all I have, and I apologize.
Says November 22nd. It says there's something from January 22nd. I'm sorry, November 22nd, 2020. It's in my head. Nancy Grace, one count with 5400. It's a women's violation. Okay. Let me do this. I had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. I have a copy of his prior criminal history, driving record, which is the only thing on there. And at least on his criminal history, it's very limited. Driving record as well, although it does indicate that it's expired. Nonetheless, I review the report. I do want to thank you for your service. I do understand that the service that you have done for this country has caused you some post-traumatic stress, and as a result, you're dealing with some substance abuse issues, whether you recognized or didn't. Being able to get a blood alcohol level as high as you did and not realize that you were that intoxicated could be a sign of the post-traumatic stress and the fact that you've been using or resorting to some substances to address those concerns. I do believe that, as indicated here in the report, that there's a low risk of you reoffending. I think you understand the gravity of your behavior. I do believe that you would benefit from some education to help ensure that you won't reoffend, and then also maybe find some other useful ways to address any potential underlying substance abuse concerns you may be addressing. As indicated by your attorney, the issue of the medical marijuana, the report stated that you presently had a valid medical marijuana card and that you were waiting for the new one to come in the mail. Is that not correct?
Negative, Your Honor. I hadn't had my card for some time throughout this process. I believe it was on the 6th of January. I went to my doctor and tried to reinstate my card, and I sent my everything to them. But by the time they got it, I guess my license had expired. And upon going to turn my license in or get my license renewed, was right around the same date where I had to turn it in because I had suspended driving. And so I have an appointment today to go and either get my state ID or to get my restricted license so I can finish that process.
Okay, so that you need some valid identification before you can have your medical marijuana reissued. That's what your holdup is there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because I do not allow medical marijuana unless you have a valid prescription, regardless of what the circumstance is. It's very easy these days to get a medical marijuana card, so it's the bare minimum that I can do to require that if you're going to be using that, you do it in compliance with the law. So it sounds like you will be getting your license or ID relatively soon, so I don't know that that would be a major issue. If for some reason you're unable to do that, I guess your attorney can then make a motion to the court to revisit this issue, but for now, the order of the court is that I'm going to sentence you to 6 months probation. And while on probation, there's a $30 per month oversight fee. You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance while on probation unless you have a valid prescription. And the court will allow medical marijuana with a valid medical marijuana card, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
No problem. You're going to be required to submit to PBTs in your analysis while on probation. You're responsible for the fee associated with that. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or ammunition or weapons of any kind during your probationary term. I'm going to order that you attend a 12-step program and provide verification as directed by probation. Not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior while on probation. You're currently employed, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm at work right now, actually.
Okay, where are you employed?
I work at the Studio C movie theater at the Meridian Mall. I'm their handyman maintenance guy.
Okay, so you're gonna be ordered to maintain your employment during probation, okay, sir?
That won't be a problem, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions about the term of probation or what's required while you're on probation?
No, I assume you'll let me know who and when to report to. I think those are my.
That is correct. You'll be
And-
assigned a probation officer. They'll go over this order, which there's a little bit more detail I'm gonna provide you in just a moment. And then you'll be required to review the order, sign it, and get it back to the court, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, as to fines and costs, there's a $75 crime victim rights that must be assessed. There's a $50 state minimum cost that must be assessed. There's a $90 assessment fee for the substance abuse assessment you underwent. There's OWI cost recovery in the amount of $504.29. owed to the Lansing Police Department for responding to the scene of the OWI. I'll waive any discretionary fines and costs because you'll have your hands full with those.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Problem. And then if you do 6 months of probation, it's gonna be $180. So total is gonna be $899.29. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you'll have the opportunity to make monthly payments on that. Do you have any questions at this time?
No questions, Your Honor.
You have the right to rights here. It says you have the right to request a hearing for early discharge from probation once you have completed half the original term ordered by the judge. You must file a motion for early termination of probation with the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You cannot request a hearing for early discharge until all rehabilitative requirements have been completed and there have been no probation violations within the 90 days preceding that request. So for you, you have 6 months, so about halfway through that 90 days in. If you've had no violations and you've completed your 12-step program, you can request early termination. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have the right to hire or retain an attorney to represent you if a hearing is necessary for your request, but you do not have a right to court-appointed counsel for any hearing for early termination from probation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lastly, if you are on probation for domestic violence, stalking, criminal sex crime, human traffic violation, or an offense where the defense was asserted of guilty but mentally ill, you are not eligible for early discharge from probation. That last section does not apply to you, okay, sir? Do
Yes, Your Honor.
you have any questions about your probation at this time?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What day? Yes, yes, I saw him. Just the day before. No, I actually saw him in person. I saw him, in person.
Ryan Brooks, have you seen him? Ryan Brooks? Is he here?
I assume it was because he was the one working on that cell. And I just saw that.
Caitlin, yes, I can hear.
Right. Try to get out of here.
I get sentenced.
No,
They're
Ryan
all
Brooks.
crazy by. Crazy, I know.
These bags that they probably want to zip their back.
The sad thing is that's not even the biggest one I've seen.
I'm
around here.
sure. Same here.
Seen ones that carry off in water wells.
Brian Brooks.
Brian Brooks,
Oh, and something else.
on something else. Yeah, I'm appointed to this felony case. I wasn't appointed to the tax. Yeah.
Reset it.
And I'm ready to talk to a guy.
Okay, if you log in, I'll put you in a.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Okay, I'll put you in a private meeting room. Ms. Brooks, I'm gonna add you to a private meeting room with your attorney, okay?
Okay.
The jail.
That's Quinn Silver. I gotta talk to you.
Mr. Silver,
Yeah.
okay. Mr. Silver, if you hang tight, your attorney's gonna speak to you next, okay?
Okay.
Which matter you have?
I've got Mr. Andrews here for bench trial, Your Honor.
It's gonna be need some time.
Well, you guys called today because I was coming up here to die.
9:30, 10:30s, and 11s.
It's gonna be relatively,
Is it a quick one?
yeah, it's gonna be one witness.
Okay, let me get rid of the people on Zoom and then we can do that.
So if anything happens, the light will take forever.
Representative Cadre, Ms. Donnelly.
Donald, yes.
Okay, statute which is here.
Stay there
We
right
have the
now.
code matter on here.
Hi.
Oh, I was actually trying to figure out if we have a code enforcement matter on here. If we do. Okay. Who is Kiki's A02?
That's me, Andre Watson.
Okay, do you have an attorney?
No,
Okay. Is the city attorney on Zoom?
No.
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so none of it got paid.
Watson in a private meeting room with you?
Sure, Your Honor.
Okay. My dad, wife. You know, I just.
And I'm assuming Mr. Newman is being represented by.
They got a damn good voice synthesizer. It sounds like.
By Miss Donnelly.
She's been dead for almost a month.
When you say they have a phone synthesizer, that are you talking about?
Right up front.
Yeah. So we're doing, who we having, Andrews, who we having a jury trial, probation? Okay, Andrews. I have the file? Okay.
They use that machine. I wasn't there. I saw you guys once only. This is the second time I've seen, this is the second time I've seen you.
That's correct.
Okay. So far, so good then.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I saw you talking with you once before, a colleague of mine, and I'm talking with you here now, so this is the second time.
All right.
Are you saying that they impersonated you another time, and if so, then
No, I have not seen that. Because then I'm not aware of, but it was weirdly very comfortable to be able to talk to my wife 2 days after she was shot. And being totally blown away by it actually sounding like her. And they had their mom in there too. And she was saying hi and hello and hope you're feeling well. And it was strangely very satisfying, but I know she died 2 days ago too.
when was the last time you spoke to your
In real life,
they were using a synthesizer? Or who did it seem like you were speaking
if you're using that machine, it duplicates perfectly the inflection, the tone,
Who
everything.
did you think you were talking to? Who did it sound like? Was it your dead ex-wife or someone else?
Yesterday or 2 days ago, it was just my mom, Arlene Traveler. And about a week before that, it was both of them, and they would interject, which was amazing. You know, ask him about blank, ask him about blank, anything.
So they were both together in that conversation, both of them at the same time?
Yeah, I figured they were on the same phone at my mom's house. That's what I concluded. But boy, it's accurate as hell. It's good.
When is the last time you've spoken with anybody from Swamp?
That would have been, let's see. report, because I don't know if you guys are part of the group, I hope you're not. But if a body shows up, maybe it'll be. You're getting text messages like they did.
Did this judge give his name? Is that what the sheriff?
He did give his name, yes, but I don't remember what it was.
Would you recognize it if you saw it again?
100%.
Earlier, you said that you saw him in person. Where was that at?
At the Union County Sheriff's Office, their main station there, the booking area, the booking area.
Lobby area?
Yeah, the lobby, yeah. No,
So the judge wheelchair had a chair.
yeah.
Are these attempts to kill you, are these things that are still ongoing? Are they
Yes.
still trying to do this?
Yes, that's what I just said, they're out in the hallway right now with a bunch of crack weight that messed me up.
Okay, Mr. Watson, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you able to start your video, please?
So you rated them.
Start my video? Okay.
Yeah. And they made a comment about.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Andre Jamar Watson, file number 21L268921. 9212 and 9213, council appearance.
I'm sorry.
I said council appearance, yeah.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Okay, Mr. Watson, you're proceeding without counsel, that's correct?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you.
Yes, I say you're proceeding without an attorney today?
Yes.
Okay, today was the date that we reset this matter. It was adjourned so that you could try to fix your plate and get proof of insurance and get a license.
Yes.
Ms. O'Boyle, you've met with him privately. How is the city proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, I did have an opportunity to discuss the case with Mr. Watson in a breakout room. At that time, he indicated that he is awaiting his tax return so that he can take care of the outstanding issues. From our understanding, there is nothing holding up Mr. Watson from applying for a driver's license other than the financial barrier. And based upon that, the city requests a 45-day adjournment so that he can obtain that tax return and use those funds to correct these pending issues.
April 25th at 9:30. You gonna be here? Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, okay. April 25th at 9:30.
April 25th?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record, or do you have any questions, Mr. Watson?
No, ma'am.
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Watson. We'll see you April 25th.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
This just says your boss is.
Great. Okay. Ms. Donnelly?
Yeah, I don't know if that will be, or probably in the computer, because everything we're doing is in the computer. So I think as far as the pharmacist knows, he's doing the right thing. He's gonna fill what the computer tells him to fill.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Ms. Brooks, are you ready to go on record on Ms. Brooks?
Yes, Your Honor, I did get an offer for a civil infraction.
We know you try. Okay,
What?
come on. For all it takes, come on. We know what people up to.
Yeah, I know.
Well, just take that nice pump, and when you pull up to the right pump, a target chip in your car will react with the target chip nearby on RFID, and it will blow your car up. That's the kind of stuff I.
So on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Anaya Brooks, file number 21L2664421. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Amanda O'Boyle on behalf of the City of Lansing.
The Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant, Anaya Brooks, who is appearing by Zoom.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for a jury trial. There was an offer extended. Can you state the offer on the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city attorney is willing to offer a civil infraction that would be interfered with traffic under MCL 257.649. With that, they would dismiss the count of failure to display an operator's license.
But if I leave this building right now,
I'm not going to accept that offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Brooks, can you unmute, please?
I need immediate.
Yes, I'm unmuted.
Okay, the offer that was extended was interfering with traffic. You discussed that offer with your attorney?
Yes.
Wish to accept that today?
Yes, I can't even hear. Can you repeat? I can't really hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I said the offer was for you to accept responsibility, excuse me, to interfering with traffic.
Yes.
Did you want to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
And this one will be what it can.
In regards to that as a civil infraction, it does have 2 points, correct?
Yes.
Correct, Your Honor.
I would love to just have a car come up here where I can stay here. Rory, are you guys anywhere near?
Fine is $125. When can you pay it?
Can we set up payment arrangements?
She also, Your Honor, owes on some other civil infractions, one of them which is suspending her license, so she's unable to, at this point, apply for her license again. So she wants to set up payment arrangements for basically taking care of all. And I told her that the no insurance one that is suspending her license should be the priority.
Can all of them be ran concurrent?
Okay, I'm not. She said she has some other civil infractions and she needs to do what again?
Well, she wants to put on payment arrangement. She is now working so she can pay off what she owes on this file as well as the civil infractions. But I do know that the no insurance portion is suspending her ability to get her a license right now. So I've given her the advice to make arrangements to pay off that one first.
Okay,
So she can clear it.
okay.
I know they always miss before, but they do, or online. Well, not even there, it might pop up, because it says Arlene Tremler, does something to save sunlight in their helicopter.
The same date as this incident?
Yes, I do believe so, Your Honor.
They must have been a separate ticket. And it's suspended because she didn't pay the fine.
Yes.
Where's that file? It would,
403 would be the ending. 21L 2664403.
Yeah, if you want to print the ROA. for me.
This has been the news so much.
Is she already on a payment plan on those ones?
No, I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, we can't stay on here forever, Michael, we're gonna have to go soon, but, you know, thank you for what you said, and we'll make sure you're okay and safe in there, okay?
I sure hope you do, and can you get me transferred as fast as possible to PC link unit?
Okay, when are you gonna start making payments on the other citation that you have for no insurance?
Yeah, I hope so.
I plan to immediately.
Well, I need a date.
Oh,
You have to put
Thursday.
a date in the system. Thursday, how much are you gonna pay?
Friday, at least. 50 to 100.
All right.
And then when will you be making your next payments? Will it be weekly, bi-weekly?
Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks.
Okay, so I'll put here that you'll make a payment of $50.
Actually,
Make that on the no insurance first on this Thursday, and that you'll make a payment of $50 every 2 weeks until paid in full. Is that correct?
Yes. Actually, can you do it monthly? Can I do it monthly?
See here, it's 228 on this one. And 150 on the other one. Issues, you have a couple of citations from that date that you owe money on. You owe 228 on one of them. Looks like you owe 156 on another one.
And then 150 on the third.
150 on the third. And then the one that you got today. And so we'll. Right. It'll be a whole nother year before you can get that paid off, and that's not what the court endeavors for this file. So if you can pay more than that and get these taken care of, then that'd be best.
That's okay. After if you could do $100. $100 a month.
100 a month?
Yeah.
So you're gonna make a payment of $50 on this Thursday still?
Yes.
Okay, as to the files that you've approved suspensions on. And the Secretary of State fees, I will waive those once as soon as you make those payments, okay? So on one file, there is a late fee of $38 plus $45. I'll waive the 45 and the 38 on that file that you owe $228 on, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I don't know, I don't have the ROA. I can't speak to what's on there, but I'm assuming there's a late fee on 2 of them.
I know they're right now.
$25, $25 now. Okay, I'll waive the late fees on each file that you have one, and so you'll make the payment of $50 this Thursday, and then you'll be making payments of $100 a month until all of these fines are paid in full. Do you have to make a payment online, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, or you can come up to the court and make it in person. Do you have any questions?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Ms. Donnelly, you have a few people.
Yes, I need to go speak with Mr. Silver.
Okay. Principal Boyle, do you know who's handling the code matter?
We do have somebody in our office. I believe it was going to be Mary Bowen who was going to be handling the code matter this morning, although I don't see either of the defendants here.
Hello,
Hi, who's on the iPhone 13?
this is me, ma'am. Sorry, had to get my video right.
Who's me?
Ramesses Demps.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anybody here for, is it Codeine Stowers?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll see if we have anybody in the hallway. I don't believe so. Okay, nobody by the name of Sowers. Ms. Bowen?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. We do have your representatives here from Code. However, no one has appeared on behalf of Codeine Stowers. I don't know if you had any communication.
Your Honor, actually, I was not handling that particular case. I was handling Grove Park, but it's my understanding, I spoke with defense counsel, and Grove Park was going to be adjourned.
So we adjourned it. We adjourned it already. Okay, well, I'm not sure who's handling the Codeine Stowers one, but the city can let me know how they want to proceed on that one. The person hasn't appeared.
Your Honor, could I be placed into a breakout room with the 3 code officers in this matter? Chris, Ms.
You're already in room
Sadachowak,
two.
and Ms. Johnson.
Yeah, you're in your room too. I'll just add them to your room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
She's out only too.
What's the date that we reset Grove for? Set Grove for April 4th at 9 a.m. Ms. Bowen,
Yes, Your Honor.
that date?
For which date? I'm sorry, Your Honor. I had an echo on my end.
We reset Grove for April 4th at 9 a.m.
April 4th for 9 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you, because I was not informed of the date.
Yeah, I think he came by on Friday and we reset it.
Yeah, he did. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Ms. Donnelly, we're waiting for the city attorney to come back from a private meeting room, but did you need to speak to anyone else while we waited?
Yes, Mr. Silver, Your Honor.
Oh, I think Ms. Johnson was supposed to go in room 2. That's what I was supposed to do. Hold up. Who did you need to speak with again?
The Mr. Silver who's in the jail.
I don't see the jail anymore.
I literally clicked room 1 and it disappeared.
Don't know what happened. And you said Alicia Casada?
And Robin Frederick. So it's on Zoom, Frederick.
iPhone 13, can you rename that person as Ramses Demps? Ms. Donnelly, we don't know what happened to the jail.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Oh, they're back. Okay, can you hear us, sir? Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Okay, we'll add you to the room with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is this the side represented by Ms. Donnelly as well?
Yes.
Okay. And then you said Fredericks is here?
Yep.
That's Ms. Donnelly?
Yes.
Newman and Hooper and Cager? What happened with them? We didn't see them today.
Oh, wait. It's not a-
Newman is there.
He's like,
Cager. Newman is represented by Ms. Donnelly as well. Anybody out there? Okay, Ms. O'Boyle.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know how the city wants to move forward on Sowers?
I do, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak with the code enforcement and zoning officials in this matter. At this time, we are seeking, and we're happy to provide it pursuant to a 7-day order, an order from this court requesting that Ms. Sowers remove the heavy equipment and farm equipment on her property within 14 days of the order being signed. And I will note that previous notices have been returned in the mail. And so we have been posting notices to the door of the home in accordance with the IPMC. And we would be happy to do so for this potential order as well.
Okay, I'll note that here on the file and we'll expect an order under the 7-day rule.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And your code compliance individuals are free to go. Is there someone still in the breakout room? No, everyone came back. They're free to go. The other code matter was adjourned until the 4th of April.
Okay, Your Honor.
Mr. Keithley would like to move forward with the bench trial. I'm gonna take care of the people that are on Zoom before I do that though. I don't know who this is. Hi, who just joined me on the device labeled? Oh, that's someone from jail. Mr. Olson.
Mr. Olson.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Donnelly's client? Okay, so we should keep the other client. Ms. Donnelly, are you ready to proceed or anybody? Oh, there you go. Okay. We have someone in the breakout room. Mr. Silver has been here for a while. He's gonna be in that.
Yeah, there's an offer that he's willing to accept on that. I'm also ready with Newman and Cager at this point. I have, Cager has an offer, but I wanted us to consider it anyways. Newman, I finally have a screening for drug court, so I have a date we can go to.
Okay, in case you want a new date.
Yeah, Cager will be, probably, 2 weeks on Cager.
Okay, Mr. Cager,
Yes,
your attorney is requesting adjournment on your matter, so we're gonna give you a new date.
oh, can I speak to her about that first? Because
I'll talk to you later, Mr. Cager.
but I'm not
I
trying
have an
to.
offer though. I'll call you later.
Okay, thank you.
There's a, okay.
All
March
right.
28th at 10:30. March 28th at 10:30, Mr. Cager.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
you're
you.
all set. You're welcome. Mr. Newman,
Yes, Your Honor, sorry.
you said it was 9:30?
10:30 for Mr. Kager.
Okay, Mr. Newman, sounds like you're moving along in your screening process, but you still need some more time. We're gonna adjourn this matter.
Yes, the screening will be on the 24th of March, so I'm asking that this be put off until probably April 4th to give time for Ms. Eisler to make her determination.
April 4th at 9 a.m. April 4th at 9 a.m., Mr. Newman.
Alrighty.
You're all set, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Silver, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Fifi in the room with his client. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Kylan DeMario Silver, file number 21-00477 OT, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Perez, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing, and I'll be practicing under the Michigan Court Rule 8.12 and under the supervision of Amanda O'Boyle.
Okay, permission granted. Today was a date set for a pre-trial. On a driving while license is suspended. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, at this time, the city has offered Mr. Silver to plead guilty to an amended count of allowing a suspended person to operate. Let me see here. I just remembered I didn't track, neither of us had the MCL. Allowing a suspended person to operate, which is a no point non-distracting misdemeanor.
And that is a correct statement of the extended offer, Your Honor.
It is a 257.9042, section 2.
Okay, Mr. Silver, you want to accept that offer today?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give, excuse me, will be the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Silver, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter, and you have the right to have a jury trial. At the time of your trial, you have the right to have the city prove each element of the charge being brought against you, and they have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
If you want to accept the offer to plead guilty to the amended count of allowing a suspended driver, you would have to waive your right to have a trial of any kind. Is that what you want
Yes.
to do?
Yes.
Okay. So that means you're gonna give up your right to cross-examine or question any witness they intend to call. You're gonna give up any right that you have to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial to further any defense you believe you may have. And then you're gonna give up your right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. Thank you. You're also gonna give up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
You're willing to give up each of those rights here today?
Yes.
Anybody making any promises to you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No.
Anybody threatening you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
As to the amended count of allowing a suspended driver to operate, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Have a factual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Silver, on February 15th of 2021, were you operating a vehicle upon a public highway, that being North Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in the city of Lansing, County of Ingham, State of Michigan?
Yes.
And at that time that you were driving a vehicle on a public highway, was your license suspended?
Yes.
All right, and do you still have a suspended license, Mr. Silver?
Yes, I never applied for one. I wasn't able to get one.
All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any additional questions from the city?
None for the city, Your Honor.
If you are satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. How long has he been in custody?
He's been in custody for 24 days, Your Honor.
I'll give you a sentence of time served. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No fines?
I'm sorry?
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Time served.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I
You're
have,
representing Mr. Dempsey.
I do, I'll have to go in a breakout room with him. I have Ms. Frederick out there too, I need to talk to. So
Okay.
if you want to put me in with Mr. Dempsey right now.
Mr. Can we bring Mr. Olson back? Ma'am, what's your name? Okay, is that your client as well?
No, let's see.
Oh, Mr. Keith.
Yeah.
What about Ms. Casada?
Ms. Casada is ready to go. As I understand it, the city is going to be dismissing.
Okay, Ms. Casada. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing, this is Annalicia Casada, file number 16-05055, council appearance.
Alma Perez appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Ms. Casada, who is present in the courtroom to my right.
Thank you. Today was the date that was set for a pre-trial. My understanding is that the city is moving to dismiss. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, this case will be dismissed. Okay, it's on a citation, so we don't need a nollie. You're all set, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, well, the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Patrick Olson. I have file numbers 21-00925 and 924. Council appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Alma Perez appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Patrick Wilson, who is present via the calling.
He says the date that's set for pre-trial, some both matters, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. An offer was extended to Mr. Olson this morning to plead guilty in file ending in 925. In exchange, the file ending in 924 would be dismissed. My understanding from speaking with Mr. Olson is he would like to accept that offer and plead guilty.
That is a correct statement of the offer, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Olson, you want to accept the offer to plead guilty to the ops that he's pleading to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did he pay this speeding ticket? Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Mr. Olson, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter, and you have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine or question any witness that the prosecution, which is the city attorney's office, intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence to further any defense you believe you may have. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. If you plead guilty to the charge, you would give up all of those rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want to waive those rights here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Has anybody made any promises to you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody threatening you to get you to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
As to the charge of no oxen possession, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty, ma'am.
Have a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Olson, on or about March 31st of 2021, were you operating a motor vehicle in the area of East Edgewood Boulevard and Richard Street, in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, did you end up having interactions with a police officer?
Afterwards, yes.
Okay. And the officer asked you to display a valid license, did he not?
No, he knew my license was suspended. I told him my license was suspended.
So you were unable to display a valid license for the officer, is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from the city?
Nothing further for the city, Your Honor.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The fine is $200, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll refer that to collections. I think you still have some money that you owe on your speeding citation from the same date. Do you have any questions today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Same to you. Okay,
Your Honor,
yes.
we have Mr. Andrews out in the hall, and I believe we have an officer here.
Come in.
All the necessary parties are present.
Why'd you run in like that? What's going on?
I'm looking at the time, I'm not on it.
Good morning, Mr. Blackman.
Morning, Your Honor.
Which matter are you here on?
I'm on Mr. Pier, Pier.
Pier? Yeah. All right. Okay. Do we know where the city attorney is?
It's Alma. Is it Alma?
Amanda?
Oh,
Or
is it
Alma?
Amanda? Oh, I'm sorry.
We got two today. I don't know. if
I'm
there
here,
was
Your
another
Honor.
or- Okay.
Is that you, Amanda?
It is me. How can I help you?
Can I talk to you real quick? Judge, would you let me talk with Amanda real quick if I could?
Yeah, really quickly, and then Ms. O'Boyle, Mr. Keithley's in the courtroom ready for the bench trial.
It'll just take
Okay,
2
Your
seconds.
Honor.
Judge.
No problem. I'll put you in a private meeting room.
Thank you.
We'll just, feel like here's my time, or you have to give me a yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Blackman, is your client here?
My client's on Zoom, Your Honor. He's a Galaxy 520.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
What's going on that matter? You need a new date?
Yeah, Judge, we need a date because he's done an alcohol class already, but I got to get him an alcohol assessment because it's a high BAC charge.
Okay, we'll get you a new date. Yeah. 30 to 45 days.
So, April 25th and 19th.
April 25th at 9:30 work for you?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you very much. Craig, I'll talk to you later. You can get off.
Sounds good, Fred. Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
We're ready for Miss O'Boyle. So did you have something?
I'll just, if you're not ready for me, I'll put in a breakout room with Mr. Dents.
Okay. record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Aries Andrews on number 21L2678681 OT. Councilman Terrence.
Morning, Your Honor. Amanda Boyle on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Andrews, who is present in the courtroom to my right.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Andrews? I couldn't understand anything you just said.
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Today was the date that was set for a trial. You were originally scheduled for a jury trial. You have the right to have a jury trial. And my understanding is that you wish to waive that right and have a non-jury trial today. Is that correct?
If that's what my attorney giving me advice to do, yes.
Okay. So we're gonna proceed at this time. Any preliminary matters before you proceed?
None for the city, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You can have a seat, sir. Okay, the city can call you first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The city calls to the stand Donovan Moore.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. You can have a seat there. Can you please state your first and last name and spell them both?
My name is Donovan Moore, first name Donovan, last name Moor.
Good morning, Mr. Moore. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
How is it that you are currently employed?
I'm a Lansing police officer,
And how long have you been employed in that capacity?
almost 3 years now.
Okay. And what sort of roles, what sort of responsibilities do you currently have as a police officer?
Whether it's kind of for domestic calls, check welfare, anything like that, or making sure people are like checking businesses, or anything really just to help the public.
Are you doing any sort of special assignments? Or are you on
Oh,
patrol?
yes, I'm on patrol for nights. I am on a start negotiator for, it's a SWAT team for Lansing City Police. I'm also a DT instructor.
Okay. And on October 13th of 2021, were you working on that day?
Yes,
And on that day, did you have any sort of call outs that you responded to?
yes, I did.
And can you describe approximately 1:40 in the morning? Did you respond to a call around that time?
Yes, I did.
Can you describe it?
Yeah, so it was unknown trouble around 914 West Kavanaugh. Caller advised that there was like 2 or 3 people fighting, possibly by a red car. And so I was just trying to check in there to see if I could find the red car.
And did you encounter a red vehicle in
I
the
did,
area?
yes.
And did you, when you responded, was there an individual at that vehicle, in that vehicle?
Yes, there was one person inside in the driver's seat and no one else.
Okay. And did you have any sort of conversation with that individual?
Yeah, so I walked up and I identified myself as a police officer. I asked him to see if he was okay, and then he wasn't really kind of talking to me. I could see that he was talking to someone on the phone. And so, and he was kind of reaching around somewhere, which I believe. So I just asked him to put his hands on the steering wheel, which he complied. And so at this time, I just advised him that, hey, someone called saying that there was someone fighting over here, saying this was a car description and everything. So that's why I'm here. The driver wasn't really talking back to me, and I assumed that he was talking to somebody on the phone. So I just trying to hurry up my investigation at this point, and I asked him for his ID. And at that point, when I walked up to the car, I saw what I believed to be an old can of alcohol sitting between his legs. So
Can you describe what alcohol you saw?
it was a blue Canadian beer.
Okay. And was that can open?
Yes,
when
it
you
was
said
open.
that?
Yes.
Okay. And the location that you responded to, is that located in the city of Lansing,
Yes, it
in the
is.
state of Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. And after you observed that open can of beer, did you observe anything else subsequently?
No, I know he just didn't really want to talk to me too much. I know I could see that he was upset, so I was just trying to get his ID information.
Okay. At any point, did he pick up the beer or anything to that effect?
Yeah, so at that point, once he gave me his ID, I ran him to see if he had any warrants or anything like that. I was still at the driver's side of the car, and Officer Baggery asked him to pour out the can, which he believed to be alcohol also. Which he did so, and then I saw him pick up the can, pour it out of the driver's side window. And after that, once I saw that, Lean told me that he didn't have any warrants, he just had a suspended license. I asked him for that beer can, which was now empty, to try to take pictures for my investigation.
Okay, so there was in fact alcohol in that container when it was poured out?
Yes.
And is that a violation of the Michigan Motor Vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor. That calls for a legal conclusion.
The objection sustained. You don't have to answer that question.
Okay. Is it a violation of the Michigan Motor Vehicle?
Objection, Your
It's
Honor.
the same question. Objection sustained.
Speak to his understanding of the law, Your Honor.
Well, you didn't ask him what his understanding of the law was.
Rephrase, Your Honor. What is your understanding?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
You want to respond to the objection?
It is the basis for why we are here and having this trial, Your Honor.
So you're trying to establish why he did what he did? Is that why you're asking the question?
I'm trying to establish why the officer took the steps that he did in the course of his investigation.
I'm going to overrule the objection. Proceed.
In observing that alcohol container, did that prompt you to take any next steps?
Yes, it prompted me to get some more information, try to get an email address, kind of get pictures for everything like that. What I saw to be evidence of the open alcohol, kind of get an email address and phone number and everything. So I'm trying to write this time a ticket for.
Okay, and what did you ultimately write a ticket?
Yes, I did.
And what was that a ticket for?
For open intoxicating the vehicle for the driver.
Okay, and is the individual that you cited for that ticket in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
Can you point him out and describe him?
Over to my left, wearing a dark brown jacket with a green mask.
The court, city has no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
The objection to identification?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Identification is noted. Cross-examination.
Okay, so Officer Moore, just a couple of quick questions. So when you arrived in the parking lot, you observed the red car, right?
Yes.
And you approached that red car, right?
Yes.
Now, you didn't have to run to catch up to that red car, did you?
No.
It's because it was sitting there stationary, right?
Yes.
And in fact, the engine wasn't running, right? Is that correct, sir?
Correct, yes.
And the keys weren't even in the ignition, were they?
Correct.
Okay, so you observed what you saw to be a Labatt Blue Canadian Pilsner can? in the
Yes,
car,
that's what
right?
later I identified was able, yes.
Okay, did you, so you, and then you observed him dump a liquid out of that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to the liquid being dumped out of there, did you do a passive PBT on the can?
No.
No, okay. So you are assuming that it was beer because it was in a beer can, right?
Yes.
But you didn't take any actual measures to check that it was beer?
No.
All right. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
Yes, Your Honor. After the liquid was poured onto the ground, did you observe anything? Did you see, smell, hear anything that led you to believe that the substance contained in that container was alcohol?
Yeah, once you poured it out and everything, it kind of smelled like an odor of intoxicants, which I believed it was anyway, just because once you poured it out, I could see more of the can itself. After when he gave me the can, I saw the can, was taking a picture, it was kind of filtered, smell.
what was the color of the liquid that came out of the can?
Was darker
Was that consistent with
beer.
a
Yes.
beer?
Yes.
And you stated that you could smell smell that was consistent with beer.
Yes, or if it's not.
And is that something that you are familiar with in the course of doing your police work?
Yes, in the profession.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Moore. You may be excused. Are you calling any other witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Are you see the defense coming to proceed? I'm assuming you have no other proofs, correct?
No additional proofs, Your Honor.
Okay, so the defense calling any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed to argument.
Thank you.
No, we will not be calling any witnesses, Your Honor.
Thank you. We were so having
That's okay.
a sidebar.
That's all right. Your Honor, I believe that the facts of this case are simple and straightforward. It demonstrates that Officer Moore responded to the scene in response to a call for alleged fighting involving individuals near a red vehicle. The officer did identify a red vehicle in the area in question that led him to have a interaction with the driver, at which point he did in fact observe what he believed to be open intoxicants inside of that vehicle. And when that can was later poured out onto the ground by the driver, the appearance of the liquid and the smell that came from that alcohol, or presumed alcohol, was consistent with beer, which is in violation of MCL 257.624A sub 1, possession of an alcoholic liquor in a container that is open or uncapped, and that can be in a highway or within the passenger area of any moving vehicle in an open area to the general public, which could include an area including a parking lot, Your Honor. I don't think in this particular case the driver needs to in fact actually be engaged in the course of driving. They merely have to be in a vehicle that is open to the public for the purposes of driving, which includes a parking lot and having that open container of alcohol on their person.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, I agree with Ms. O'Boyle as to pretty much all the facts here. We're not contesting whether the officer had a reason to report to the area. We're not contesting force identification or that he saw what he believed to be a beer can, or a can of beer, sitting in the vehicle. First of all, as to whether this was alcohol, the officer indicated he hadn't performed a passive PBT. He didn't take any actual steps to verify that this was alcohol. Now, he testified that he smelled odors consistent with beer. However, we are still in a jury trial or non-jury trial, but the burden of proof here is still beyond a reasonable doubt. And I don't believe that him smelling that rises to proof beyond a reasonable doubt that there actually was alcohol here. However, even on a more fundamental level than that, as Ms. O'Boyle points out, the statute says, and I'm quoting directly from the statute, within the passenger area of a vehicle upon a highway or within the passenger area of a moving vehicle in any place open to the general public or generally accessible to motor vehicles, including an area designated for the parking of vehicles in this state. The officer clearly testified it was in a parking lot, which we will agree is an area generally accessible to motor vehicles and even designed for the parking of vehicles in the state. But he also clearly testified that the vehicle was not moving. Under the terms of this statute on its face, Mr. Andrews is not guilty because his vehicle wasn't moving. In fact, the keys were not even in the ignition. The engine wasn't running. The statute here contemplates moving vehicles, Your Honor. It is not intended to prohibit a person from sitting in an area parked, not consuming alcohol as long as they're not moving. And the city's interpretation of this statute would prohibit all things from a person simply going out of their house into their driveway and having a beer in their car, to all the way to tailgating at Michigan State. It's frankly a ridiculous interpretation. It's directly contrary to the plain language of the statute. And based on that, we would ask that the court enter a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you. Any re-argument?
Briefly, Your Honor, just simply noting that the statute also includes that it's not only transport, but just simply the possession of alcohol in a container that is open and unsealed, and within the passenger area of that vehicle. I understand the nuance here of highway versus is it moving and is it in a parking area? The city's position, though, however, would be that the area was open and accessible for driving purposes. He was in a vehicle with an open container of alcohol in violation of the statute. The city position.
Thank you. MCL 257.624A. Transportation or possession of alcohol, liquor in open or uncapped container. Open or upon which seal is broken, violation as misdemeanor. Exception, subsections 1 and 2 inapplicable to passenger and commercial quadricycle definitions. States in section 1, except as provided in subsections 2 and 5, a person who is an operator or occupant shall not transport or possess alcohol, liquor in a container that is open or uncapped, or upon which the seal is broken within the passenger area of a vehicle, upon a highway, or within the passenger area of a moving vehicle in any place open to the general public, or generally accessible to motor vehicles, including an area designated for the parking of vehicles in this state. So the issue here is, as the statute clearly states, is, well, transportation or possessing alcohol in an open container, but it clearly states within a moving vehicle. I think what is interesting here, though, is the first part. We have here an officer that stops or reports to a call on October 13, 2021 at the area 1914 West Kavanaugh in response to a unarmed disturbance, a call about a fight near a red car. He locates a red car, sees a person sitting in the red car with who appears to be on the phone. He indicates that the person, the vehicle was not started, did not appear to have been in motion at the time that he arrived, that the individual was on the phone, that he saw what he believed to be a can of open intoxicants. He later identified it as a blue Canadian beer. He testified that he asked the individual to, he or the other officer asked him to pour out the liquid, at which point he was able to confirm from the look of the can that it was a beer can and that there was a odor of intoxicants. The issue here is the interpretation in section 1. There's a comma. The first portion of this section 1 states a person who is an operator or occupant shall not transport or possess alcohol in a container that is open or uncapped. The comma says or within the passenger area of a moving vehicle. My interpretation of that is that the moving part only pertains to the passenger area and not to the first portion where it says a person who is an operator or an occupant shall not transport or possess alcohol in a container that is open or uncapped in the area, the passenger area of a vehicle upon a highway. Of course, this includes areas designated for parking of vehicles in the state. So I believe that there is a violation of the statute. And so I'm gonna find in favor of the city. Is there any objection to immediate sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Are you going to argue my ruling?
I would just like to point one thing out
You
to the
can.
court. Your Honor, prior to that comma that the court has pointed out, it says in the passenger area of a vehicle upon a highway. But there's no evidence here that he was on a highway. It's,
It also says included an area designated for parking vehicles in the state.
Your Honor, we'd ask for a sentence of fines and costs in this matter.
Fine is $100. When can you make payment?
What, how much?
$100.
I can make it today.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record? Thank you. You're all set.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. Who's on phone number ending in 6802?
Lucas Elliott.
Mr. Elliott, you need to call in with a video.
Oh, I don't have that capability on my phone right now.
Okay, you can come in person.
I thought it
then.
was optional.
No, the video is not optional.
Okay. It doesn't say that here. I don't really have time to download an app.
I'm sorry?
I don't have time to download an app or anything.
You say you don't have time to download an app?
Like, it could take me 20 minutes or something if you want me to call back.
You have time to drive to the court in person? Because that's your other option.
I don't have a vehicle.
It could take you even longer than 20 minutes then.
Okay, so what do you want me to do?
It's about what you want to do. You're here for a court appearance, not a court phone call.
Okay, I guess I could try to call in. I thought they were just, all right, there's nothing I can do. I'll try to call in or whatever.
Thank you.
You leave a message letting them know I'm trying to get through.
Leave a message with whom?
Well, Judge, I'm trying to get through to them. I don't want to go, like,
I
this
am
shouldn't
the
even.
judge. You're talking to the judge.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'll try to get an app and get
Thank
back on here.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you ready with Mr. Demps?
I am, and Ms. Frederick behind me.
Okay. We're on the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Ramsey Demps, file number 21-02120, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Alma Lizan Perez appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Ramses Demps, who's appearing by Zoom.
Today is the date scheduled for pre-trial on a furnishing false information. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, at this time, I do have an offer of to amend the false info to disturbing the peace. Mr. Demps and I would like a week to think about it.
Well, it's gonna be 2 weeks.
2 weeks, then. Thank you, Your Honor.
We can do March 28th at 10:30. March 28th at 10:30. Any additional matters for the record?
None for me, Your Honor.
None from the city, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Robin Renee Frederick, file number 21-02786 OD, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alma Lizan Perez appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Robin Frederick, who is standing to my right.
Today is the date set for pre-trial. Oh no, operating while intoxicated. How are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, the offer, Ms. Frederick was able to get a substance abuse assessment. So the offer is to amend the operating with a high BAC down to operating while intoxicated first offense, and Ms. Frederick would like to accept that.
That is the correct statement of the extended offer, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You heard the offer there, or that they're gonna amend it to OWI first offense? Yes, ma'am. You wish to accept that offer today? Yes, I do. Are you able to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury? I do. Thank you. You can put your hand down. Ma'am, you have the right to proceed to trial in this matter. You have the right to have a jury trial. You have the right to be represented by counsel at that trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent to proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to cross-examine or question any of the witnesses the city intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence you believe would further any defense to the charge. Do you understand that? Yes. If you want to accept the offer to the amended charge of OWI first offense, you have to give up all of those rights, ma'am. Is that what you want to do? Yes, ma'am. Is anybody threatening you to get you to give up those rights? No, anybody promised you anything to get you to give up those rights? Okay. Are you currently on probation or parole? You understand that by pleading guilty, you may have to report a criminal conviction to your current employer? Yes. Okay, you may also have to report it on future job applications. You understand that? Yes. You still wish to waive your rights and plead guilty today? Yes, ma'am. As to the amended charge of operating while intoxicated first offense, how do you plead, ma'am? Guilty. On a factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Ms. Frederick, on July 4th of 2021, were you operating a vehicle on a highway open to the general public in at or near specifically 1610 Linville Street in the city of Lansing, County of Ingham, state of Michigan? Yes, I was. Okay, and while that time you were operating that vehicle on a public highway, was your blood alcohol content higher than 0.08? Yes. All right, and do you have any reason, well, take that back. Did you come into contact with the police on that day? Okay. And did they take your blood? They did. All right, did they take that? Did you consent to that? Did they have a search warrant? I went to the hospital. And you consented to the search? All right, do you have any reason to dispute that the blood, your blood came out to 0.287 grams of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood? All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Any questions from the city?
None from the city, Your Honor.
Court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. This matter will be set for sentencing on April 25th, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning. You can appear via Zoom or you can come in person if you don't have video capability, okay? Prior to sentencing, actually, when you leave here, you should go down to the 5th floor, meet with probation in person so they can schedule your pre-sentence report and recommendation. Ms. Donnelly can provide them a copy of the substance abuse assessment that you've already completed, okay? Do you have any questions today, ma'am? No. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further for the city, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll get you a copy of your notice and then we'll show you how to get down to probation, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Kayla Moore, are you representing Kayla Moore?
I did speak with Kayla Moore. Did she not appear, Your Honor?
She was here.
Okay.
She's here.
Okay, good.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I thought that we adjourned. She had a license. Maybe we were adjourning.
Yes, we were, she needs to get insurance, so that she can renew her plate. She just, been having problems. She works part-time, she works with kids. She hasn't been able to, save up the money yet, but that's what still is her plan, is she gotta get the insurance to renew the plate. So I was gonna ask for another adjournment. I haven't gotten an objection from, the city.
Your Honor, in understanding that Ms. Moore is going to take the steps to obtain her plate and it has gotten her license. We have amended to the no insurance to no proof of insurance and dismiss the remaining charges.
Oh, then, if I could be put in a breakout room so I can go talk to her about that.
Sounds good. We'll put you, Miss Moore, we'll put you in a private meeting room with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Christasia Castilla is outside, and for that one, her have a history, she doesn't want me to represent her, so I'm gonna have my office transferred to Mr. Keithley, if we can just get it adjourned 2 weeks.
So, okay, Mr. Bigelow, can you have her come in, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I see Mr. Elliott. Who's representing Mr. Elliott?
I am, Your Honor.
Can you just speak to him privately?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
I put him in the room that you're already in. Okay. Who's on Michaela's iPhone? Can you unmute for me, sir?
Christopher Taylor.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, do you have an attorney?
They never they never issued me one, but he was supposed to contact me, but they never issued me one. Last time I went to court, they just sent me let me talk to the person right before court. They let me talk to somebody last time. So.
No, seriously? I don't have anything from. Okay, we don't see whether or not you were denied or even granted a court-appointed attorney. So you probably spoke to someone at your arraignment and they did an intake, but we haven't gotten any follow-up. So when I get a public defender back in here, I'll have them check your file, okay, sir?
Okay, so do you want me to be looking out for something in the mail?
No, I
Or
want you to sit tight. No, I want you to sit
Oh.
right here. A public defender just went to go talk to someone. I'll have them
Okay.
check. It may be that they need some additional information, but we'll see, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on mute in the meantime.
All right.
Okay, and then who's on the Moto G stylist? If you can unmute. Ma'am, on the Moto G stylist, can you unmute? Ma'am, what's your name?
Elizabeth Owen.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, when your attorney is available, I'll see if they need to meet with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay. What's your name? Okay, Cristacia Castilla, my understanding is that you need your attorney changed, is that correct? We're gonna give you a new date, okay, ma'am? Let me give you April 11th at 9. We're gonna change it to April 11th at 9. We'll get you a copy right now before you leave, okay? Do you have any questions? Need to change your mailing address? Okay, what is it?
Is it the PO box?
Have you noticed right now, hang on tight since you don't have a phone or a steady address. Did the city get the next date for Castilla? Are we ready on Ms. Moore?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Kayla Moore, file number 21L2701201, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Elizabeth Perez, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Kayla Moore, who's appearing by Zoom.
And actually, I also have file number 21L2701181, 1182, and 1183. Today was the date that was reset for pre-trials and explanation hearings on these matters. There was an offer extended. I believe it was for her or for the city to amend the no insurance, no proof of insurance, and they would dismiss the expired license. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's my understanding, though. It's my understanding that that was what that ticket was to begin with, was a no proof of insurance. It's 1183 OI, so I thought it was already.
Says here, insurance, no insurance, non-waivable offense on the ticket. What happened with the other credits? Am I missing something? There was an expired plate, a speeding.
Yes, they're on the docket for this one.
Okay, what is the city doing with those? Are they dismissing all of those?
Yes, it is my understanding
Okay.
that if she steps to the no proof of insurance, they will dismiss the expired license, the speeding, and the expired plate.
Okay, what does your client want to do?
She'll take a responsibility for the no points or sole infraction.
Okay, that's correct, Ms. Moore?
Yes, that is correct.
The fine is $145. When can you make payment?
If I could get on a payment plan, that would be great. Maybe,
How much can you pay and when can you make the first payment?
next week I can make the first payment and I'll probably do $50 monthly if that works.
What day next week are you gonna make your payment?
Friday. So I'm trying to figure out what date that is, but Friday of next week.
Next week, Friday is the 25th.
Okay, yep, of $50.
Do you know how to make payment online?
I believe so. If not, I can definitely call the courthouse and figure it out that way.
You just go to the court website and that's www.lansingmi.gov/court. It should be on your notice to appear.
Okay. Can you give me that web address one more time? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. www.lansingmi.gov/court. You'll just use your citation number.
And what would that be? Because I've been in the process of moving, so I have a lot of mail that is not open.
It's the 21L2701183 file. Your other
Thank you so
option,
much.
ma'am, is to come up and pay it in person at the court, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem, you're all set.
On what's it?
Unless you have a question for us.
No, I'm all set. Thank you. I was just writing that down. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, same to you. Okay. Are you ready? Did she get her next court date? No, she's all set. Unless Mr. Keithy wants to speak to her, but I don't think he has.
No,
Yeah.
we'll leave that.
No, you're all set. Okay, I have Mr. Elliott here. Are we ready on Mr. Elliott?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Lucas Elliott, file number is 22-003930M, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Alma is authorized appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Keithley, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Lucas Elliott, who's present via Zoom.
Thank you. Today's date set for pre-trial on a telephone harassment charge. How are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. There was no offer extended in this matter. We would be asking that this matter be set for a final pretrial and jury trial.
We can do April 11 at 8:15 for the final pretrial. And then April 18 at 8:15 for the jury trial. Final pretrial will be April 11th at 8:15 here in person at the court. And then jury trial will be April 18th at 8:15 in person at the court as well. Do you have any questions today, Mr. Elliott?
I guess not.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further for the city, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Elliott. We'll see you April 11th. Okay. Christopher Taylor, Mr. Keithley, we don't have any information as to whether or not he was approved or denied.
Gordon, give me just a moment. Your Honor, it appears that he was denied. My office reached out to him for some additional information and we never received it.
Okay, Mr. Taylor? If you can unmute, please. So it sounds like the public defender needed additional information from you and they did not receive that, so you were denied. Did you want to try to re-engage and get that information to them?
Yes.
Okay, I can put you in a private meeting room with Mr. Keithley and you can find out what information that is if he knows.
That will be fine.
Mr. Keithley, do you know what information is needed?
Give me just a moment here. Let me see if I can find it.
No problem. I'm gonna give you a new date in the meantime, okay, Mr. Taylor?
Okay.
March 28th at 11.
Okay. Do you guys have my phone number? Because I don't want it to be hard for him to have to contact me because I'm
We have
saying
a
like,
number here, 802-0105.
yes, ma'am. That's my number.
Okay. When Mr. Keithley's ready, I'll get you in a private meeting room with him, okay?
Okay.
I am ready, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll add him to your room. Are you representing Ms. Owen?
Yes, I am, and I'm ready. We're just adjourning it, we'll hopefully without any objection.
On the record in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Elizabeth Owen, file numbers 21-02721 and 21-03213, council appearances.
Thank you, Your Honor. Almo is on for us, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant Elizabeth Owen, who is appearing by Zoom.
Today's the date set for pre-trials. How are we proceeding on this? Or I guess there's going to be a request for an adjournment.
Your Honor, yes, I have been working with Ms. Owen to do a substance abuse assessment. She can't afford one from the typical places, so I've directed her to go to community mental health, which will do it for free, but they also need her to have a valid ID. Her Michigan state ID is expired, so she is in the process of trying to get a same-day appointment at the Secretary of State to renew that, so I was gonna ask for an additional 30 days for her to do that and get the substance abuse assessment at community mental health.
She doesn't already have an appointment yet. She's trying to get one, you said?
Yes, the way community mental health works is that you don't need an appointment. You just need to show up between any day between a certain time to be do an intake. I don't know if they're going to do the substance abuse assessment at that point, but she just needs to show up to get that appointment.
Okay, but I'm at the Secretary of State.
Oh,
She doesn't, she's gonna do the same day.
What she's trying to do is log in the morning at 8 o'clock so that she can get a same day appointment. I don't know if she's gotten, Miss Owen, have you been able to get one yet?
You have to unmute.
No, I have not got an appointment yet.
Okay, but that's what you're still doing every morning is trying to get a same day?
Yeah.
Okay. April 18th at 9 a.m. We'll adjourn until April 18th at 9 a.m. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further for the city, Your Honor.
Nothing for defense, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Owen, we'll see you April 18th.
Thank you.
No problem. Douglas Patino has failed to appear or issue an bench warrant.
Okay. And the only other one I had was Alan Hooper, and I didn't have a good phone number for him.
Okay, Mr. Hooper's failed to appear. Supposed to be here.
9 o'clock.
Issue a bench warrant. And Mr. Rivers failed to appear. Issue a bench warrant. Hooper number ends in 5517 or 4119.
3571. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Hooper, I'm trying to see, we have two different numbers in here. I don't know if you have the same one we have, but the last number he gave us
Oh,
in January ended in 4119.
yes, that's the number I tried.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all I have except for yeah, we set that one already actually. And Dijano is reset. So I think that's all I have. Does the city have anything that I missed?
No, Your Honor, not that we know of.
All right, I think that's all I have. Then Mr. Keithy, I already gave the guy, he's in the meeting room with another date, so we're all set till this afternoon.
Are there gonna be a trial this afternoon?
A trial?
Well, there, yeah. Are we gonna deduct it? Oh, just for you.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Thank you.